coming door to door to take away your rights to bear arms. That's actually what's coming out. That's what I was telling you about, these slippery slopes of federalizing towns and cities. Now, it seems good when we have a good leader, but I kid you not, two Democrat politicians and news media said this is the next step when they become president. Is this right? See, what happens is they throw things out there to make you just take it in, see how people react. But ultimately, what they're setting up for is to become Britain and Australia, which did this. They took their rights away. This is why today, I'm telling you, to stockpile and put some things up, especially when it comes to bearing arms. We're going to discuss those stories. Also, we're going to talk about Trump taking out a vessel, a boat, using drone capabilities and blowing them up. Why I actually think this is a good thing. A lot of rhinos and some even libertarians are like, why are we doing this? This is war. No, it's not. This is how you protect our homeland. I actually like what he did here. I hope this actually shows that cartels have no play in America anymore. Because if you really want to keep our cities, safe, you got to start with getting rid of the epidemic of drugs. No doubt. Also, we're going to talk about money, gold. Gold is skyrocketing. Sadly, we don't understand it because the market is going up. Fed may be cutting rates. Is it all just too good to be true? At the same time, India and China are dumping our treasuries, which means we have a falsity in the market. We have a mulligan somewhere. Something will break because you can't see the other currencies going up along with our market while dumping treasuries. It is impossible. I know we want things to be better. But the only way it gets better is if we quit spending and start building up stockpiled cash and money. That's not what we're doing. India just gave away our treasuries to buy gold. China, the same thing. We're going to talk about money. Now, today's conversation all comes around depending and stockpiling on yourself. Because what we realize, we're going to talk about funding in 2020, what the money actually went to. We're going to talk about what the money went to on the fires in California. What we realize is government hand in things is absolutely bad. Today we're talking about what to buy and stockpile right now. Let's dive in. Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Thank you so very much for being here today. If you are new, please go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell. Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, that's okay, but let us know what you think about the content of today's video. Now, we're also going to release the winner of today's video, actually of the August giveaway, so make sure you tune into the whole video. It's great, but ultimately we are doing the giveaway at the very end of the video. We'll send you soaps that we make here, shirts from us that we've made, and then again, some more memorabilia from our sponsors. Now, let's jump into the stories of the day. First, let's just talk about a few things. All right, Trump first takes out this Venezuela boat, or this boat coming from Venezuela. Do I believe anyone should, be involved in strikes and war? I don't. I wish everybody was at peace. Let's just be honest here. There is no peace because people are always wanting to gain ground on other nations and other people at all times. Other leaders doing the same thing. But Trump warned them, quit trafficking drugs. Quit bringing these things to our shores. Well, a boat tried. Trump took it out. Now, we have some people that are upset about this. We have some judges who are saying Trump can't do this. Do you realize what these people are saying? I mean, I think we forget that they're just trying to be a naysayer to Trump, but what they're actually promoting is crime and drug use in our cities. And that the president doesn't have the power of a judge that just became a judge a few months ago. That is not the way that the founders actually set it up to be. The president is supposed to be the president, and the check and balances should be the judges and the Congress. However, both of those are activist judges, Congress. Both of them are getting filthy rich. Ilhan Omar, let's go back. She made $25 million on an investment of $1 million this year. They said that she actually bought just a small portion of a capital firm in 24 and all of a sudden made $25 million. That's some shady stuff, but nobody's talking about it. So when we talk about getting mad at Trump for absolutely taking care of people that are trying to cause harm to Americans, why in the world do we not bring true condemnation on some of these other situations? Let's just go through a list because this is going to bring up why I say you have to stockpile, why this is so important. I'm tired of acting like everything's perfect. It's not. Let's just listen to a few stories. Again, Ilhan Omar made $25 million this year on just, I guess, a good investment. For some reason, she literally, like, they said it was over hundreds of % of investment that she made back over the last 4 to 5 years. That's better than Warren Buffett, people. That's better than Michael Saylor. That's better than any investor that you can name. She made more than. That's your congressman. Do you actually think she's earning that honestly? Come on. Let's go through a few of these stories where government waste and why these people are dogging Trump out, but at the same time they're ripping you to pieces. Spencer Pratt met a criminal investigator of the IRS office. They confirmed, now listen to this, $800 million was given to the Pacific Palisades Los Angeles fire victims as aid money. You know, all those people were singing and donating, and they were like, it's going to go to the victim. It's going to go to the rebuilding of this area. Listen, here it is. Not one single dollar went to the victims. Gavin Newsom must have put it somewhere else. $800 million for fire victims, not $1. And that was from the IRS auditor. Not $1 went to the victims. So that's government, you know, doing really well with your money, huh? COVID money, 2020. The money that we gave to take care of individuals during the money that was approved by Congress, that we did not have, that we approved to help people. 70%, which was around $1 trillion of new printed money that the Fed and the government printed throughout 2020 to 2024, 70% of it went overseas. Now, does that mean that it went overseas, stayed overseas? No, what it probably did is went overseas, went into other hands and other coffers, and then made its way back to a lot of these politicians. That's probably why they all of a sudden have capital firms and everybody's making millions in Congress and Senate. I want to ask you, just please ask yourself this. Oh my gosh. You've been under this style of leadership in socialist style government, meaning since Lyndon B. Johnson, FDR, the 40s, 50s, 60s, right after World War II, basically. You started this movement of the government putting more of their self into your lives. Since that time, there's been more Congress and Senate becoming millionaires. There's been more big businesses becoming billionaires. And the American people are living paycheck to paycheck still. Are living in some kind of government subsidized property that absolutely depend on the government. So they've given you nothing. So COVID money, Palisades money, the fact that our congressmen are getting rich. What are we doing? Now, we're supposed to be over these people, correct? We're supposed to be over them. Now, Trump, there was another announcement from X Alerts that said that cartels have been taken out too in Mexico. And again, rhinos, libertarians are all upset, just like the Democrats. Why are we doing this? This is war. No, it's not. It's protection. And I absolutely voted for this. This is what I wanted. Now, I want to spin this now. These same people are saying don't go into the cities. And I told you, I actually want these cities safe, but I do not believe it's good to go in the cities because it's a slippery slope. This is why. This is what I was talking about. I want you to watch this clip because this is the most important thing that we can get out of today's video.
All of this. I'm all for crime reduction, but the conservatives who are celebrating this, you listen to the mayor of Chicago talk about the gun crisis in America. Well, what is to stop, given the precedents that Donald Trump is setting, what is to stop a Democratic, a Governor Pritzker, a Governor Newsom to say, you know, we have a gun crisis in America, just as legitimate on the facts arguments as a crime crisis, and say we're going to send the National Guard into states to go get their guns. There have to be standards here. The reason why Pritzker I get it for the politics. He keeps saying Trump was begging me to ask him to come. The reason why...
This was CNN floating the idea that the next Democratic president will order the military to go door to door to confiscate firearms from law-abiding citizens. Do you realize what I'm saying here? Law-abiding. So the people that actually are law-abiding are the ones they're wanting to take from. That's where that slippery slope comes into. He's saying those quiet parts out loud for a purpose. Listen to what Minneapolis Mayor Frey says. Again, an absolute lunatic and socialist who is an absolute joke. But for some reason, he keeps getting elected. It shows these people are incompetent that's voting. He is tripling down that he should ban your rights to bear arms. It says he wants to go in using the entire nation, and he says officials should go door to door to seize all farms from law-abiding citizens. Second time. it's been said. Politicians, news, everyone is bringing this up. Obama, Biden saying the same thing. Clinton saying the same thing. They're all coming out. They use this situation as a chance to say, let's ban them. But then when you start hearing, well, if Trump can go into the cities and disobey that slippery slope, which he's trying to help Americans, but again, I told you it's a slippery slope. They said they could use this same national emergency declaration to come to your door and take them. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, guess what? Let's do one more story because this proves my point of why we should stockpile. Now, India and China both are starting to get rid of treasuries, meaning they're giving our money back. They don't want our money anymore, but they're buying gold. Gold is up to 3,500. They said it could easily hit 4,000 by the end of the year, maybe even 5,000. Real money. Now, this is not the fake crypto junk that I've been telling you to stay away from. This is real, tangible, actual value. Something that's been around for literally 4,000 years at least. In biblical times and all, everybody wanted gold. So it's been threadbare. The only currency that has lasted through generations is skyrocketing right now. What that usually means is the dollar is struggling. Well, all of a sudden, Kobayashi letter brought up attention to it. Says, well, the markets and money still is doing okay. What this means is there's a falsity in the market. That means we're spending way too much money and we're still holding up our own currency by blowing it and printing more money. It's not driven by consumers spending money. Most people don't have money to spend. So it's a falsity. But guess what? Guess what we're doing? We're still printing money and sending it overseas. I want you to listen to this new article that proves that we're falsifying our own dollar to make it look like it's strong, but absolutely what we're doing is bringing in a digitized form of control and currencies, because you're going to see all of a sudden gold's going to keep skyrocketing, somehow crypto is going to kick off, our dollar is going to sink, and then that's going to bring in a digitized form. It says, what we see is something that we've never seen. Rates are thinking of being cut, but they're still high right now. All the yields are all over the place. Gold is at all-time high. S&P's at all-time high. However, what we're seeing across the world is everybody's dumping our money. He said it's absolutely something that we have never seen. That was from Adam Kobayashi. I want you to listen to what Whitney Webb just said. She said, what we're seeing is a coordinated global push of a new dystopian central control, which is marrying digital ID with CBDC. They said, with the governments of the world getting rid of our dollar while we're trying to prop it up, she says one little conflict, one little inkling of a problem, and it's gone. Let's go back to what I just said about 2020. $1 trillion. We printed like $2 trillion during 2020 and 2021. It said that one little virus, that one little situation almost calls for a catastrophic event until we printed those $2 trillion. Of course, made inflation go crazy, but what it did, it flooded the market, so everybody had to use our dollars. What people are realizing now is because our debt's so much and everybody's getting rid of our dollars, we can't just keep printing that, because ultimately it's going to be to a purpose. Well, it can't make it anymore. In the Bible, let's go biblical now. Do you remember in the end times it talked about how a denarius, basically a day's wage for someone, would have to pay for a loaf of bread? Even when you talk about the tribulation and biblical times and end times, again, just not prophecy, but what I'm saying is you're getting to a time where that's actually happening, to where we're worried about a $5 or $6 loaf of bread. Basically, what they were saying in the Bible, that there may be times where you have $100 to $200 worth of a piece of bread, where a loaf of bread costs you $200 a day's wages. What that means is we've printed so much money, or whatever money at that time has been printed so much that it's worthless. We're getting to that point. You know all that money I told you that flowed in, 70% of it went overseas? Who is the biggest recipients of that money? Here's where I'm going to blow your mind. There's a new report from UK. It says the world money that's been going to quote-unquote help individuals all across the world. Guess who got the most money since 2020? Mohammed becomes the most common name among welfare benefits and recipients all across Europe, including the money that flowed in from America. So while we're hoping to build America up, really we're printing more money to give to the people that call for death to America and death to Israel. It says the next most common names. This is going to blow your mind. Our money is going to the Islamic names: Muhammad, the next in line, Ahmed, The next in line, Ali. They said of the top 10 recipients that the Muslim countries and the names that represent the Islamic faith got about 50% of them. The most common being the top 5. 3 of the top 5 were literally Muslim countries. So while we're printing money that we don't have, giving our debt, wrapping our children up and grandchildren up where they're going to have frivolous, worthless money, we're giving it to the people who are literally building things to hurt us. Does that make sense? Now I say all that to say this. Here's where we get to the nuts and bolts of the video. You have congressmen robbing you blind. You have Senate robbing you blind. You have justices who are literally overstepping your presidency. You have a slippery slope because your president is trying to help a situation out. Now you're saying these Congress and Senate are now saying we should just ban it. We should just ban your Second Amendment rights. You also have Congress and Senate who are saying we need more regulation and we need to keep spending money that we don't have. We're going to keep giving it to people overseas. We're not going to stop that. We also see that the fundraising and the money that is taking, the money that's printed that was supposed to go to certain aspects of paycheck to people who need help, like the fire victims of Palisades, it actually just went back in the coffers of other people. Now, that was a lot. Let's talk about things that you should be buying right now. There's a shortage of medicines. Did you know that? China and India is where we get most of our medicines. Both of them are now pulling away from our dollar. Now, we thought we had a deal with India, but then all of a sudden they fell right back in lock and step with Russia and China. Again, this goes back to what our Congress and Senate should be doing is trying to build peace. Like the video yesterday, NATO trying to build peace with Ukraine, because what we're doing is pushing everyone in the arms of China and Russia and not actually for world. Not actually for peace. And what that does is actually destroy our dollar, destroy our trade. So number one, let's go through it. Number one, you should be buying antibiotics. I know I say this all the time. I feel like a broken record, but antibiotics is going to be the key for a lot of help. Jace Daily doing daily medicines. If you're on some kind of daily regimen, as much as it may cost, you better figure out a way. And you can call Jace Medical. You could call wellness company. You need to call someone and start getting on that list to get this medicine and get it home. Antibiotics. I talked to an individual yesterday. He was going overseas, and he said one thing about the country he was going to. He said they do pretty well on independence. It's an impoverished country. It's like a third world country. He said so they pretty much grow a lot of their own food. He said they don't really have a lot of grid issues because most of them are living off grid. He said, but one thing they don't have is medicine, and he was stockpiling medicine to take on his trip. Antibiotics and medicine is key. Number two, do not believe that gold is just stop and it's going to die back down. The world currency is falling to pieces. Gold will be a big part of that. You need to make sure you're purchasing gold. I like Genesis Gold because they're principle based. They have a Christian outlook on life, but ultimately buy some gold. I bought some gold locally the other day. I had an individual call me personally, and he wanted cash, and I bought some gold. I don't disclose a lot of that. The reason is I don't tell you how much I bought or why I bought it, but the purpose was he needed to sell it, and I wanted to buy it. That allows me to have something that's going up in value. I started buying gold when it was worth about 15 to 17 to 1800. Now, what's so funny is when it was at 15 to 17 to 1800, everybody was like, it's not going to go any higher. It's going to fall and you're going to lose all your money. Now it's doubled that already, and I've gotten some deals along the way that's even better than that. So don't believe that gold is going to stop going up, because our currency is going to keep on being printed, and we're going to keep on trying to save it, and ultimately will put us in a demise of a digital currency. It's coming, guys. Be ready. So number two, you buy some gold. Number three, you need to buy seeds. You need to buy seeds. I have seeds, and I'm going to tell you this, honest truth. I went to, if you watched our vlog video yesterday, go back and watch Life with Colby Mack. We show you how we do this life, and like these pumpkins we raised, all that. We kind of show you that in vlog form. But I was missing broccoli seed. And I ordered some from Survival Garden Seeds like I always do, but we had some that we put up, but the seed that we had from last year didn't do well. It made smaller florets, not bigger florets, but I digress. The purpose was I was going to go buy some seed. So it was Labor Day, and I said, you know what, I can't go to a co-op, and that one co-op in town does a non-GMO organic seed. The rest is just garbage seed. I said, well, let me just go, if Burpees and Annie's does have some organic seed, and they put them in Walmart's, Home Depot's, Tractor Supplies, all that, box stores. Not one box store in my town had seeds anymore. They all used to carry fall seed. Not one of them had fall seed. Not one of them had fall seeds this year. You know what else? I went to the co-op the next day, which was Tuesday, yesterday. And I said, hey, I need to get some of the broccoli seed. She says, you're in luck, we have one variety. That one variety is the one I didn't want. I did buy them, but she said we didn't get a lot of seed in this year. And the seed we got was very poignant, meaning they got only certain kinds, like one variety of this, one variety of this. Buy some seed. Life is in that seed. Food is in that seed. You can buy a seed vault from Survival Garden Seeds. Even if you're not a gardener, spend $30, $40, $50, $60, $100 on some seeds, because it is life. It is life to have food where you can grow it. Number 4, cash. Now, Colby, you just said cash is going bad. I did. Why would I stockpile cash? Why would I want cash? Because until cash is gone, cash is king, and you can buy things like I told you. There's things I buy with cash that I don't disclose to y'all or to anyone, because why? That's the point of cash. It is between me and that individual. And guess what? If you have a lot of cash, and if you're one of those people who believe that the world's going to just be great and it's going to keep on going, guess what they're going to do? When cash does go away, they're going to probably give you a premium to turn to digitized forms of cash. So they're going to say, go to this stable coin. For every dollar you give me, I'm giving you $1.50 back. So what it's going to do is going to incentivize people to get rid of their cash. So having cash as a prepper is great, because now you can utilize it. Having cash is one of those people who believe that preppers are wrong and that the world's going to be better and that you can trust the government. It's still going to be to your benefit, because ultimately you'll be able to change your cash out for a higher value, and of course then you will be controlled by the government. But I digress. It's a good thing to put up cash. Now, number 5 is the most important, because you got to defend all this stuff. You had lawmakers this week not only call for banning it, just banning the auto or semi-auto versions of the Second Amendment. They were saying that Democrat, whoever comes to the next presidential race as a Democrat, should go door to door and take away all rights for Second Amendment. All. Banning all of them. That conversation's changed from banning the most dangerous, banning the bigger magazines, it's now to a point where they want to take away all your rights. And if you listened, both instances that I told you about, the one that I showed the video clip and the mayor, said law-abiding citizens. They're not trying to buy the bad ones and illegal ones off the street like Trump is trying to do in Washington. That's where this slippery slope comes in, when you cannot trust your government. When they tell you right out loud, and they're throwing it out like I throw a bobber out to catch a fish. It's to see if anybody takes the bait. And you watch, you see, it's going to be talked about more and more, going door to door. Listen to that. They're going to use Trump's way of doing his federalizing and cleaning up the streets. They're going to use it to their benefit as a slippery slope to say, well, if Trump could do a national emergency to clean up our streets, then we can do a national emergency to take the GUNs out of people's homes, because that's really the problem. Chicago mayor came out this week and said the problem with Chicago's murder rate and crime rate, there was over go look at the numbers. Hundreds shot. 10s to 20s to 30s dead over a weekend in Chicago. You know what he did? He literally blamed the Republicans for that. He says we need more money. He didn't blame the African Americans, because that was 98% of who killed each other and who caused the problems in Chicago this weekend. He blamed the white Republican for not giving more money. Pritzker said we don't need the troops to heal Chicago, we need money. So what did we see in the very first of this video? How good Congressmen and Senate and government was with money? They took it from us. You have elected the people that's going to put you in prison. I want you to listen to one last quote, and we're going to end this video up. I thought this quote just nailed it. And you don't have to believe it, but it's true. A digitized ID, a government that has all the tools of regulation, a government that we trust with our health care, our insurances, our housing, and our food. When we hand them the keys to our life, what this society will do, and what government then will do, is they will lock the door behind you with the same key you gave them. Meaning, you're giving the keys to your freedom, to your independence, to the government by electing these people to overregulate you, to take your money, basically tax you, cause for inflation because they spend your money, give your money to people like Mohammed. Literally, that is a story broke by several sources to show that our money did not stay here. Palisades money did not come back to you. $0. So what J.B. Pritzker and some of these cities are saying is, we don't need Trump, we need his money. We need the federal money because it's the white Republican that's caused the problem in the cities. And sadly, people believe them. These 5 things you better stock up now. I'm not joking anymore. Time is running out. This is something you better do now. What did I tell you yesterday? They threatened civility? No, they threatened civil war. They said that they want their people to take to the streets after the officers of Trump. That's what Chicago mayor said yesterday for September. NATO, escalation, said escalation to a World War III could happen as soon as this month, September, all the way to March. They're putting people on readiness. Go back and watch yesterday's videos, eye-opening. What does that mean? That means time's running out. Don't play with this. Guys, thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts on today's topics. Now, last thing before we wrap up, I'm going to give you the winner of today's video, but basically of August, the giveaway for someone who that comments, that subscribes to the channel. The winner of August giveaway is Freedom Checks. The name of his channel, or the name of the individual that watches, is Freedom Checks. Freedom Checks has been a major commenter and subscriber for a long time. I've always seen his picture, and he has commented over 100+ times on some of our videos. Thank you, Freedom Checks. Reach out to me via email so that way we can get this prize packet to you. We'll get the size of your shirts and all that kind of good stuff. We would love to send you a packet of things from our farm to say thank you for watching. Again, guys, please make sure you are subscribed to both channels. The reason we get held down, the reason the prepper community gets held down, the reason that truth gets held down is because when you start knowing this stuff, you start getting independent, freedom oriented, and they don't want that. Pay attention. God bless.